Hello learners.
Welcome to today's lesson.
In this video,
We will learn about the history of a very important place in Nigeria called Badagry. We will learn what happened there in the past and why it is important to remember history. So stay with me and let's learn together. What is history? Before we begin, let's understand what history means. History is the study of past events, things that happened many years ago. Some history is happy and some is sad. But all history helps us learn lessons for the future. Today's lesson is about a very serious part of history called the slave trade. What is slave trade? The slave trade was a time in history when human beings were captured, sold, and forced to work without freedom or pay. This happened between the 16th and 19th centuries. Families were separated, and many people were taken far away from their homes forever. Badagry was important. Badagry became an important place in the slave trade because it was close to the Atlantic Ocean. This made it easy for European traders to transport slaves by ship to other countries. The slave market. One of the most important locations was the Vlekete slave market. At this market, human beings were brought, inspected, and sold like goods. They were exchanged for items like guns, mirrors, cloth, and alcohol. It was a very painful and unfair system. Imagine being treated like an object instead of a human being. The Barracoon slave cells. After being sold, slaves were taken to holding places called Barracoons. One example is the Brazilian slave Barracoon. Inside these small rooms, people were chained. Many were overcrowded. Conditions were very bad and painful. They stayed there for weeks or months before being moved again. The slave route. The next stage was the journey through the slave route. Slaves were forced to walk through what is now called the Badagry slave route. This journey was long and painful. Along the way, they passed a special well where they were forced to drink water, believed to make them forget their past. At the end of the journey was the point of no return, where they were taken onto ships and left Africa forever. The point of no return was the final place where slaves boarded ships. Once they left from there, they would never see their homeland again. Many families were separated forever, and a slave trade in education. Later in history, the slave trade was stopped. Badagry began to change and became a place of learning and Christianity. At the first Storey building in Nigeria, education began, and the first school in Nigeria was established. This building is also where the Bible was translated into Yoruba by Samuel Aji Crowther.
Badagry Heritage Museum.
Thank you for learning with me today. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more educational videos. See you in the next lesson.